How do we stop making capitalism in 3 minutes? Fuck. Yeah, that's the answer. We fuck. And no. Yeah, I think everybody's hit on it, and I think was it Tim who was first in the last bit? You know, we're never going to be able to fully opt out as much as we want to. It's nearly impossible given society, but I do think that the idea that has been going around all day has been community and networks and working and recognizing that we live in communities and existing in communities as much as we can. The forest being a community is a pretty good example of what works with that and what doesn't work with that. For instance, have you guys all been here before? Yeah? Everybody? Cool, good. How many of you would say that our toilets are really, really dingy and shit? How many of you have cleaned our toilets? Yes. Which is not to point the finger at anybody. Everybody's really busy and it's time consuming and it's gross and it's annoying to have to do. But if we take the camping metaphor and the notion that we live in one big campsite, and if we actually want to believe it, then we have to stop. The way we beat capitalism is to stop acting like the way capitalism tells us we should act, which is as rational, self-interested pricks. Which does make you a prick if you haven't cleaned the toilet. But you know what I mean? Like, and it could be anything. Like, how many times have people like cleared a table, or when you've gone down to get another drink, have you bring your bottles? Like, anybody who works in a bar knows, like, when you get up to go to get another drink, you carry your glasses back to the bar, right? Because that makes you like nice. It's that kind of thing, and I think the inherent problem with trying to stop making capitalism is that there is the notion that there's the tragedy of the commons. Like, how many people have been here at 10 o'clock in the morning after a massive party and cleaned it up? I bet a bunch more. Yeah, good. And why have you done that? Partly because you're self-interested and you don't want to have an embarrassing show at 12 o'clock, but partly because you know it makes the space better for the audience and for the people who are coming up to perform. And that's a really important thing. And I think the way we stop making capitalism happen is to contribute more in communities wherever we happen to be, and to reach out to them and to try to live the way we know we should. And that doesn't mean you have to throw away your iPad. I think it just means you have to recognize when you can do something helpful. What else was I going to say? There's a guy downstairs named Mai who's forsaken money and has lived for the last like 5 or 6 years without money. His life is incredibly difficult. None of us will ever want to live that way, but the forest provides a halfway house between that kind of monetization of our lives and you know, and a community space where you can do what you want to do. He has to walk a lot more than I would want to walk. He can't take a bus. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, that's my message. Work in communities, be less self-interested, selfish and greedy, and protect the commons.